Hi guys, and welcome to this Divi WordPress theme tutorial. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignertechtips.com. In this series of videos we're going to be building a one-page scrolling website with the Divi WordPress theme. And this theme's got some great things. It's got some video sliders, we've got animations, got a bit of CSS going on there. Got a video background. And in this series of videos I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually put this site together. We'll start from scratch and we'll work from the header all the way down to the footer. We've included some great features like a back to the top button and some smooth scrolling to get to our various sections here. And although Divi has some great built-in themes and templates, this is for people that want to build their own from scratch, and it really is quite easy, especially with the new Divi builder. For those of you that haven't got Divi, you can get it from my affiliate link below this video, or you can go to elegantthemes.com and get it from there. So let's get started building this site. Okay, so here we are. We're on a dashboard of a fresh install of WordPress, and the only thing I've got installed here is our Divi theme. Don't forget there's an affiliate download link below if you want this premium theme, or you can go to elegantthemes.com. And also I'm using the Divi theme builder plugin. And I've got version 2.0.67 at the moment, which is the latest one. And let's have a look what the theme was. It's Divi 3, I know that much. It's 3.0.105. So the first thing we want to do is create our navbar, the top bit. At the moment it's just a blank generic WordPress page. So let's get our navbar sorted out. So what we want to do, I've got a little folder here with some assets in it. I've just got some images, a couple of logos, a light one and a dark one, a couple of background pictures for the slider, and an MP4 video. Slider images that I'm using here are 1280 by 853. I don't think they're actually, yep, they're all the same. Just for reference, and that's just a little MP4, and it's just a few megabytes big. And I've got a couple logos, as I said, and a favicon, and a few people pictures, and a couple of computer images. So let's first thing go and set our logo. If we go down to Divi, to theme options, here we can set our logo, and all we need to do is upload and drag in the logo that we want to use. It's fine, I'll give it some alt text, I'll just call it a logo, and we'll set that as our logo. Now when I go back here and refresh, hopefully our logo should appear just at the top there. There we are, and that's what we're going to use. That's all we're going to do for the time being on the navbar here, because we'll actually put the menu together after we've put some sections together. So let's go back to our dashboard. Let's go to our pages and add a new one. Now you can call it what you want. I'm going to call mine one page because it's a one page scrolling site. And I want to use the Divi Builder, the plugin. Incidentally, the Divi Builder plugin can be used on any WordPress site. It is most effective on the Divi site, funnily enough, but it can be used on any WordPress site. So the first thing I want to do is create a full width slider. So let's hit the full width section. Pop this one up the top there. And delete that one. Now inside of here we want to have a full width slider. There we are. Now let's start adding our slider heading. Responsive sites for all your needs. And let's have a button that says get started. And in our content, let's add another image. We'll use our little logo. I'm going to use the light colored logo. It'll stand out better. I'll just call that logo light. And insert that into our image there. And I want it in the middle. And underneath, I'm going to use a bit of dummy text. I'm going to just drop that down a bit. I'm going to get some dummy text called lorem ipsum. So I'm going to go to ipsum.com. I'll put this link below the video here. I'm going to generate. Just grab this last line here. That'll probably do it. And put that below. Now in the design, I want to have that text centered. So that's already set to text centered and it's light colored. Now for a background, we want to put one of our images in here. So we're on content, background, color, gradient, image, video. So just hit the plus button and upload our image. There we have it. And I'm going to set that as background. So let's save that. We just say we want to get this first slide right before we move on to the others. So let's just have a quick look. Save that. And we'll go ahead and publish the page. And let's preview what we've got. Okay, so there's our first slide. Finding it a little difficult to read the writing, so I want to put a gradient overlay or a color overlay on this slide to make it a bit darker. And I'd also like to make it a bit longer. So let's go back and take care of these issues. So it's in our slide here. I'm going to give the main element just a padding of 100 pixels all around. That'll make it a bit deeper. Save that. And we also want to give it a background overlay to take that down a bit so we can actually see our writing a bit better. So if we go into our slide settings, and at the top in the design tab here, you're going to find use background overlay. And I just want it to be black, but I want it sort of have around about a 50% opacity so we can still see through it. Let's just have a look by just checking this little eye icon here. Yeah, that's a lot better. You can read it a lot better. And it's a lot deeper. We wanted that slide a lot deeper. You don't have to. If you want it less, then don't put that much padding on it. If we go back in there, like I say, I put on 100 pixels there. If you wanted to put less, you can. It's in the actual slide itself. In the advanced tab, in the main element. So if we change that to 50, you'll see it won't be quite as deep. 50, not 500. Save that. Now let's have a look. And it won't be as deep. But I want to go with my original one, which was quite big. So let's get out of that and change that back to 100. Advanced main element 100. Save that. We've got our color overlay, which is great. Let's just check our actual slider settings here. So we're in the main one. Show arrows, fine. Show controls, that's fine. We don't need an actual background on it behind the slider itself. Text orientation center. Fonts are all fine. Button I'm going to leave as it is. Padding, well, we've taken care of that with that bit of custom CSS there. Don't need any box shadow at this time. So all looks good. Let's have a quick save, update, and take a look now and see what it looks like. Just hit the preview changes button. And as you can see, it's a lot deeper now when I put that padding on there. It's sort of a full page slider, or almost the full width of the page there, or full height of the page, I should say. And we can read this a lot better there. I left the default button, which is fine. And I'm quite happy the way that that's looking now. So we can go ahead and create our next few slides. Now the actual duration of the slider, we want it to go automatically. So let's have a look down here. And right at the bottom of the design tab on the main full width slider, I'm going to turn automatic animation on. And you can actually choose the duration. That's 7,000 milliseconds. So that'll change every 7 seconds. And that's going to work for me. So, but if you want it quicker, then change it, or slower, then change it. And continue automatic slide on hover. I'll leave that off because what that means is when they've got their mouse on the slide, it will no longer slide to the next one because they may want to click that button or read the text that's on there. So I'm happy with that. Let's go back to our content. Our first slide's right, and all we need to do is duplicate it by hitting this 2 little oblong boxes there. Now we can go in and just customize our new slide. So let's just go in. We'll give this a new title. Obviously, if you're building this for a client, you're going to have some content that you want to put in there. For our purposes, I'm just going to leave that dummy text in there. That's absolutely fine. But of course, we're going to want to put in a different background. So all we do is hover over that image, hit the trash can icon there, and we can go and put in our new image. So just hit the plus sign and drag in the next image that we want. I'll just call it slide 2. Set it as background. I'm going to save it. Now it should have pulled in all our custom styles from that one above, seeing as we just copied it. So let's have a look. Save and exit. Update. And now preview our changes. Well, let's take a look. Now it should revolve after 7 seconds. There we go. There's our second slide. That's fine. There's our little arrows that show it rotating. Right, let's quickly do the next couple. I'll put one more regular one in. In fact, I won't even do that. Let's go ahead and do a video slider for the next one, shall we? So let's go back into our forward slider. Let's duplicate our slide again. And go in with the 3 little bars and edit it. This time, let's change this to a video. So what I'm going to do is hit the trash there. And in the 4th little tab here, this is for videos. And we'll just hit the plus key and we can import our video here. Same way, all we do is drag it across. And we've got to actually put in, I'll just set that. We've got to put in the dimensions of the video so it plays correctly. To ensure that this works on all browsers, you want to add a WebM version as well. You can just get a bit of video conversion software or go online and convert an MP4 to a WebM and put it in there as well, just for compatibility. Okay, the video width is HD, so it's 1920 by 1080. And pause the video while not in view. Yep, that's absolutely fine. So let's save that. Save this, and once again let's update and take a look. And preview our changes, and let's take a look. I'm not going to wait 7 seconds. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the arrow. There's the next one, and there's our video, and that's working fine. And after 7 seconds it should go back into the other one. There we go. So that'll do it for our first video here. We'll start the about section in our next video. Okay, let's move on to the about section. We've got our slider taken care of here. Let's just go back to our page. What we'll do, let's set this as our front page while we're here. So let's go to Divi, Theme Customizer. Down to Home Page Settings. Just click on the radio button, a static page, and then choose our page. Our page is called One Page, I believe. There we are, and that'll put our front page here in our customizer. And incidentally, this is where, if you need to, you can change the fonts, the header navigation. We'll be working with this a little later on. Your color schemes, your mobiles, your menus, widgets, what have you. So let's publish that. That way, whenever we load this site, it'll automatically go to this page. Close that out. So there's that slider we've just done, and of course I'm sure you realize that clicking on those little 3 bars will let you edit it. If you want to add a new slide, just click on the 2 little oblong icons there, and it'll copy it, and you can redo it however you want. That way you've got the CSS, the styling that you've had for the slides before. Or of course, just add a new slide if you do not want to copy those slides. Let's move on to the about section. So let's just create another standard section here. I'm going to make it just 1 column, and I'm going to insert a text block. Scroll down. I'm going to add our little logo for the top bit. I'm going to add the dark one, so just click on it, insert it into the page. I'm going to drop down, and we're going to use some dummy text again. So let's go to lorem ipsum. Links below this video if you don't want to Google it. And go down and generate some. Here we go. And I'm just going to take another random line or two. In fact, let's take that whole paragraph. I'm sure you've got something more meaningful than this for your site if you're building it. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to our design tab. I want everything center aligned. There we go. Let's just have a quick look. Yep, that's absolutely fine. Now I want to add another little row underneath here. This time I'm going to make it thirds, 3 of them in a row. And I'm going to use what they call a blurb. Here we go. And let's give this first one title of concept. We will grab a bit more lorem ipsum here. Don't want to grab too much. We can always add a bit more or take some away if we need to. Probably that will probably do. Let's put that in there. And I want to use a little image icon. So I'm going to turn this one on. And let's scroll down and get a sort of conceptual type icon. And these are all the icons that are inbuilt with the Divi theme here, and they're really useful. Let's use that one. Now let's go up to our design. Icon color. I want to use the same color as my logo's blue, so I happen to know that I've got it in Photoshop here, and if I click on my color palette, it's that color right there, which is 12B1D6. So if I copy that, we can just paste our custom color in there. There we go. And I've made a note of that color in a little text pad because I will be using it throughout my theme. Let's make it a circle icon. And the actual circle color I want to blend with the page, so let's make that white. And we'll give it a border. And the border color, I want that same color again. Icon, I want it at the top of our little blurb section. May want to make our icon a little bit bigger or smaller. We'll take a look in a minute. Everything we want centered. And our actual blurb, I'm going to give it a little bit of a drop shadow here. Title text alignment. Title text size. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Let's take that up to about 24. And let's use that blue for the actual title color as well. Don't want any text shadow on it. Body text color I'll leave the same. And let's just give it a little bit of box shadow on the bottom there. I've just selected this one here. shadow color's fine as it is. I think that's probably all we need to do. Let's take a quick look. Just hit the eye icon. Yeah, that's just exactly what we want. Looks like we want a bit of padding because the writing is actually stretching out to the sides, and I want a bit of space at the bottom and the sides there. The icon's about the right size. I'm happy with the size of our title text there. So let's just give it a bit of padding. Here we go, here's custom padding, and I'll give it 25 pixels all round. I'm just going to copy that and paste it in. I don't need to do this here, but for your information, there's a little phone icon here where you can change the actual padding, how it displays on a desktop, a tablet and a smartphone. For instance, on a smartphone you might want it to display less padding, say 10 pixels rather than 25. Really useful feature. Okay, anyway, let's have a look at this. Yeah, that looks a bit better. It's got more space there around the actual text itself. So let's go ahead and save that. I'm happy with that at the moment. And let's copy it. Let's call our second one perhaps design. And we want to change our icon for that. Let's use that little thing. And if you're doing these and you're going to want to edit them at a later stage, you can change their names. If we go back in there, right down at the bottom, it's got an admin label. So you can change their names so they're easier to find and edit at a later date. Of course, you can edit them with the visual viewer too, but let's just copy that one again. And let's call this one development. When I put a P in there we go, development. And let's find a new icon for it. Let's use that. Okay, and that should be good. Let's call this one dev. Put it in place. Let's save this. Hit that update button. And then when it's updated, we can preview our changes. Scroll down. There it is. There's our little about section. It's that logo we put in. Bit of dummy text there, obviously. Hopefully you'll have something more meaningful for your site. And there's our three little blurb elements. A little bit of box shadow. That padding that we put in there seems to work okay. I was thinking that might be a little too long. Let's just get rid of it after ODO. So let's go back to the page. This time we've got to actually edit. Well, let's demonstrate the visual builder, shall we? Let's go in here. Hit the visual builder at the top. Now that it's loaded, let's just slide down to where we were. I can actually select that text and just hit delete. Same with the next one. Saves going into all those modules. And I hear you say, let's just copy a bit of text here. What if one of my boxes, copy this, let's drop down, or let's just paste it there. What if one of my boxes has got more text than the other, which is quite often the case, but I want them all to be the same length? Well, we can just go into one of these boxes and give it a bit of custom CSS. Okay, so we can just go into this element now, go to the advanced, to the custom CSS, let's go to the main element, and we can tell it to have a minimum height, or min height. Let's say 450 pixels. If it's not enough, it won't change. If it is enough, it will grow a little bit. So let's say 450 pixels. Yeah, that's grown a little bit there. That may be too much. Let's try 425. Yeah, that looks to be good. Let's copy that. Control C, save our changes, and do the same for the next couple boxes, and that should make them all the same height. Main element, paste that in there. You see it's made it the same height as this one, and we'll do the same for that one. And they're all the same height there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and undo all this because I don't want it to be that. That was just a demonstration for you if you had different amounts of text in each one. So let's save that. These new custom CSS boxes that they've put in here for the new version of the Divi are absolutely awesome. It makes it so much easier to do a lot of this stuff. Whereas before it was just a kind of blank field. Here it's got a full-blown text editor that will tell you when you do things wrong, which is really handy. So we want to go audio. Let's get rid of that. There we go, they're back to being the same size. And I'm going to hit the exit button. It'll say you've got unsaved changes, but I don't want them, so I'm going to hit the discard and exit. Oh, I did want to change them. We obviously saved that, so let's get rid of that again. Junk. Delete. Gone. This time I will hit the save button. And this little purple button here, just hit it and it will expand. And there's a save button on the bottom right hand side. Check mark, it's saved. It's fine. Back to how we were. So now we can exit. And hopefully we'll be back where we were. There we go, and there's our little about section. We're not going to add animation right now. We'll do that sort of last thing when we're customizing. Let's move on to our next section. So let's build a little call to action section next under our about section here that we've just built. And we can actually do this with our visual builder if we want to. Let's go ahead and do that. So if we scroll down to the end of our about section, hit the little blue plus button. I want a new section, I want a regular section, and I'm just going to use one row. And I want it to be text. And it's going to be a sort of call to action. So in fact we've got a call to action module up here, I believe. There it is. Let's give it the title of Future-Proof Web Solutions. And let's say the button that we're going to use, let's say learn more. And we don't want any media here. Let's just add a couple of lines of text. So yet again, we'll go back to our lorem ipsum. And we literally want a couple of lines here. Let's try that. Let's paste that in there. It's kind of got it. Now I want to go to my design. It's the wrong blue. I've got my color blue saved. So I'm going to copy my blue color. I'm going to want to get rid of that background. I won't do it yet because I won't be able to see the text. Go to our design. Everything looks right there. And I guess I'll put my blue color in here. We could just make it transparent, but let's go ahead and put it in there. So there's color. Let's get rid of the color that's in there. And paste in our new color. There we go. That's the color we want, but I want the whole section to have that color. And I don't see a button there, so let's have a look at our content. Link, it'll be right here. If I put you've got to put a link in there, I believe, for the button to appear. So I'm just going to put a hashtag till we decide where it wants to go, probably to our contact section. There we are. Now I've put something in there. The buttons appeared down here. And that's fine. The actual hover effect, that works for me. So let's save that. Now I want to give our whole section that same blue background color. So I've just clicked on the section cog and we're in content, background. Let's give it a color. Paste in that blue color again. That's it. We're good to go. There's our little call to action section there. And we might decide that perhaps we want it a little bit thinner. So we can bring the padding down a bit like that. There you have it. One little call to action section. Let's just save that. And start working on our services section next. Exit the visual builder. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. Let's start working on our little services section below this, where I just want to have a little bit of text, a couple of images. I'm actually going to do this. You can do it with the visual builder. I'm going to go ahead and do it just with the actual page editor. If I refresh this, hopefully it'll put in our little sections we did last time. There we go. It's added that little call to action section. Now I've refreshed it that we did with the visual editor just now. So let's add a new section. Again, I want a standard section. This time I'm going to use half and half, 2. And on the first one, I'm going to put in an image. Just right there. And let's pull in an image we want to use from my little resources folder. So I've got a resources folder with a few prepared images here. So I'm just going to pull in one from here. In fact, I'll pull in 2 that I'm going to use for this section. And let's select the one I want to use first. That's that one. And remember, when you're building a site for your customer, whatever your site pertains to, what its subject, for the alt text, you can put in keywords that are relevant to your subject here. That will help your SEO a little bit. Okay, let's just set as image. That's fine. Don't want it to open in a lightbox. What open in a lightbox means, if you click on the image, it'll open up in a bigger image, which is what you want for nice personal photos. We don't want it to link anywhere. Don't want a background color. And we can just leave that as image is fine. So let's just save that. Now let's insert a little text module. And let's give it a title of responsive. I'm going to make that a heading 2. You really only want to use heading 1s at the top of your page. And let's add some of our faithful lorem ipsum text. What a fair bit. So let's take that whole paragraph. We may want to add a little bit more. And let's go back and paste that in there. Now my little heading here, I want this to be the same color that we've been using, that blue color. I've got that in my little text pad over here, so I'll copy it, select the text, hit the little arrow next to the little A there for text color, hit custom, and you can paste it in that little box there next to the hashtag, and then just click on another box above it and it'll change it to that color. Now we've got that blue color for our title. I want it left aligned this time, so we'll make sure it's left aligned. I think it'll do that by default. Yep, left aligned, that's fine. Let's save that and take a quick look. Update. And preview the changes. There we go, that's pretty much exactly what I wanted. So let's put another little section underneath it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to clone this section here. So two little oblongs here, hit that. That's a good copy. And I'm going to swap these around. So I've got the text on the left and the image on the right there. Now I want to change out my image and use the second image that I had there. Save that, and I want to give it a slightly different title. Let's call it mobile first. And save that. Okay, let's update. Hit the update button and preview our changes. Scroll down and have a look. Yeah, that works. That's pretty much exactly what I had in mind. Let's just split them up with a little divider here. Put a little dividing line in between. Let's use our visual builder for this. Just so it breaks them up. That's quite a lot of white space right there. Not that that matters. White space is actually a very good thing for design. Now it's loaded. I'll hit that little plus arrow just below this last section. New row. Inside. We've got a divider here somewhere. There we go. Put a divider, visibility. I want it to show a little line there. Background I want as is. And the color of our divider, I want my little blue color again that I've got. Let's just paste that in there. There it is. Just put that little dividing line in there. Just splits it up a little bit. That's fine. I think what I might want to do as well, I might pull this text down slightly so it's got more padding at the top, so it's more in line with that image there. So let's give it a little bit of padding at the top. Not sure if I need this or not. If we go to our design tab, spacing, padding at the top. What's that? It's about 50 pixels, something like that. Let's try 50 pixels. Too much. Let's try 30 pixels. Yeah, it's about right. It's a little bit much, about 28, 27. I think that's going to work. Let's just save that. That looks more in line there. And let's do the same thing for this one. Design, spacing. And let's give it 27 as well. I'm guessing that'll be the default. Yeah, I think that works. Let's save that. Let's just eye it over. Yeah, that's going to work. I mean, we could align that image to the left and align this one to the right, but I don't think I want to. So I'm happy with that. There's our little about section. Let's save that. And exit our visual builder. Yeah, I think that works. It's kind of in line. Looks fairly pleasing to the eye. There's a good user experience. Left, right, left, right. That's fine. Well, good. So there's our little call to action section and our services section. Okay, in this one, let's build ourselves a little statistics section with a little video background and some circle counters. This is where we left off. So let's go to our page editor. Go down to the bottom where we left off and add another section. Standard section's fine. And let's use 4 columns. And let's put a video background on here. Fourth button's a video, just like it was for the slider. Got to add our MP4. And like I mentioned when we did the video slider, it's a good idea to put a WebM version in to keep compatibility. I use an onboard converter to convert my MP4s to WebM, but there's plenty of online free versions out there. I just Googled it just now and it came up with a bunch. I just put in MP4 to WebM and I tried this one here and it did just fine. So I'm going to upload the file I converted with that to the WebM just to show you. And set as background video there. Now I want to put in the dimensions, which is 1920 by 1080. That ensures it will keep the right aspect when it's playing. We can pause that video when another video plays. Pause it when it's not in view too. and that's fine. Just save that. Now we want to, let's put in a few little circle counters here. Here we go. And the first one I'm going to call research. And let's put in, I don't know, 68. This is in a percentage, these circle counters here. You've got number counters options on a different module, which will let you put in different numbers, but this goes, as its percentage, goes from 1 to 100. I'm going to leave the percentage sign on. I'm not going to put in a background just yet. And for our bar background color, I'm going to use the blue color that we've been using. Which I've got saved in my little notepad there. Circle color, I'm going to put in white. And it's got a very low opacity, so it'll appear light grey sort of thing. Now the text color, we're going to want that to be light because it's got to stand out against our video, which is kind of a dark background. Orientation, yep, we're going to want that in the middle there. Let's go down here. H3, we're going to leave those all the same. Don't want any text shadow. So I'm fairly happy with all of that. Let's just save that and take a look. Or let's just quickly view it in here. Yeah, that's pretty much the effect I want. There's our video background and our little circle counter there. So let's save that and we'll do our usual trick of cloning it. And the second one, let's call that one design. Give it a different percentile, 72 for instance. Save that one, put it where we want it. Clone that one, rinse and repeat basically. I don't know, development. Call that 80%. Save that one. And the last one, I don't know, let's call it effect. Max 100%. And that's all we need to do, I believe. Let's put this where we want it. And again, if you want to remember what these things are, just go into any one of them and call it whatever you want to call it. A good idea is to call it what the title is, and it's just down at the bottom of that first content tab there. That way, if you need to find it again or separate things when you've got a lot of modules, it's very easy to do. So let's save that and have a look what we've got. And preview our changes. And there it is. There's our little stat counters or percentage counters with a video background there. That stands out quite nicely, and it's nice eye-catching effect for your site there. Let's just refresh that. They animate. They will animate as you get to them. And like I said with previous sections, I'm not going to add animations right now. I'll do that at the end. I'll go through from top to bottom and decide what animations I want on each section. And we'll add some flourishes and what have you. Section dividers to just make it stand out a little bit more. So there you go. There's our little stat counter section. Okay, so let's move down and do our team section. Let's go back to our page editor. and add another standard section. Now I'm just going to put in a single row for the moment because I want to put a title in. And we'll use a text module for this. Let's give it a title. And let's make that H2 or heading 2. Drop down a little bit. And I'm just going to select that. I'm going to make that our little blue color again. So just hit the little arrow beside the A there. Hit custom. Put in our code here. Click on the one above it and it puts it in. Save that, and that should be our blue color there. Now again, I'm going to use a bit of lorem ipsum dummy text. And get the link below this video, or just Google lorem ipsum. And let's just take a paragraph, shall we? That ought to do it. Back to our page, and we'll paste this below. Now I want this to be centered, so I go to the design tab. I want the color to be dark, which is fine. I think my font styles are going to stay exactly the same, and my heading. So the text orientation I want as centered. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, that's going to be fine, I believe. So let's save and exit. Now I want to add our actual people. So let's add another row, and I'm going to include 3 people because in my assets folder over here I've got 3 images that I'll use. Okay, and let's add a people module. I think it's called people or person module. There we are. Okay, and the first one I'm going to call her Paula. And she's going to be our CEO. And you can put their Facebook, LinkedIn profiles. I'll just put a couple of hashtags in here so it'll load them. Obviously you'd want to put in their proper URLs for their profiles there. And let's just put a little bit of dummy text in describing them. Don't want too much because don't want it to be too deep. So I should think I'll probably do it. And again, I want this to be essentially aligned, so I'll do that in a moment. Let's put an image in for Paula. Just drag one of those images in that I had in my assets folder here. There we go. Okay, don't want a background or a background color. We're just going to leave it white. Let's just take a look. So I'm going to click on this rather than save the whole page and look at it and see what we've got so far. There we go. I forgot to center align it. Okay, so what I want more of a gap between the image and the heading there. I think I want that heading to be a little larger and blue, and also our social media icons, I'd like those to be blue as well. So let's take care of that. Okay, let's have a look in the design tab. Icon color. Put in our little blue color yet again. Icon hover color, I'll leave that as is. Image, that's fine at the moment. Don't want to put a box shadow under it. Okay, text colors dark, that's fine. Text orientation, we want it centered. And our heading 4, I think we've been using 24 pixels, haven't we? So let's just put that up to 24 pixels. Give it that blue color. And let's move this up to 24. Let's have a look what we've got. Okay, that's a lot closer to what I'm looking at. There's our icons, they've turned blue. Everything's centralized now. I think I'd still like to see a little more gap between the title and the image. See if we can do that with a bit of custom CSS. So I'm on the Advanced tab. There's the member image. So let's give her a margin on the bottom of, say, 30 pixels. See if that helps. Let's just take a look at that. It's better. Let's make that 50. Still do with it being a little bit more, so there's more separation there. Yeah, let's call that 50 pixels. Let's take a look now. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That'll work for me. So let's do what we normally do and just clone this module. Simon. And what is Simon? Call him Chief Financial Officer, CFO. Everything else can stay the same. Of course, we're going to want to change his picture. Or perhaps it's Simone. I'm sure that's got an E on the end of it. Okay, so there's Simon. That's all we should have to do there. I guess I could have changed the admin name there so it says Simon. Let's just do that quickly. Just for future reference. And same again. And let's call this one Jenny. And what can Jenny be? Chief Technical Officer, CTO. That all stays the same. I think we're good to go. Oh no, that's Simon. Let's put the correct picture in there. Set that as the image. Again, I forgot to change the admin name. Let's do that quickly. Not that it really matters, there's only 3 of them. Okay, well, let's have a quick look, see what we've got. Then we'll go back to the full site and view it. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Let's save that. Update. and preview our changes. There we go. There's our little team section. Yep, I'm happy with that. Fantastic. All right. Let's move on and put in a little FAQ or an accordion section below with a few bits of information in it. Go back to our edit page. Let's add another standard section. I'm just going to make it one row again, and inside our row I'm going to put an accordion. There it is right there. Background, it's fine. We'll leave this for the time being. Let's just do our first one and see if we can't get it right. And the first one, let's call it platforms. Then for the content, let's add a bit of media. I'm just going to use some images I've got here. We'll use that phone and tablet. It's a bit too big. Let's get rid of that and put it in as a thumbnail. So let's add the media. Go down here and drop down and make it a thumbnail. That'll be plenty big enough. That's fine. We'll have it left aligned, so left click on it, hit the left align button, and let's add a bunch of text beside it. Again, we'll go to our trusty lorem ipsum and grab a bunch of text. Let's take that paragraph there. Maybe too much. Doesn't matter. And let's paste our text in there. We'll paste it beside it. There we go. Okay, that's fine. And let's add a little bit of design. Icon color I'll leave as is. Well, let's just make it white. That'll stand out. Text color. Open, we'll leave that as is. Open. Toggle background. We'll leave that as white. Closed text color. Closed, let's make that white. May have to change this, I'm kind of guessing at the moment. Closed toggle background color, let's make that our nice blue color we've been using. Closed toggle background, there we go. Text orientation, we want to align it left. Don't think we want any text shadow. Width 100%, that's fine. Margins we'll leave as is for the moment. Border color, I think we can leave that as. Let's give it a little bit of box shadow, just like we did with our top info boxes there. Let's have a quick look at that. Save. Let's have a view and see what we've got. Okay, so that's the open box. It's going to let us toggle it. Okay, let's just quickly copy that. I'm happy with that though. That's fine. I want to see it in its closed state. First one by default is always open with this. So let's just clone this. And let's call this one HTML. And let's change this little image here. We'll just insert another image, that one right there. Thumbnail 150, that's fine. align it left click and hit the left align, or if you want it on the right, hit the right align. Sure you know how to do this. Everything else I'm going to leave the same. Let's have a look now. Hopefully this should be in the closed state below it, so let's have a look. There we go. Yep, that's fine. We've got the box shadow, we've got the white little toggle there. Then when I open it, it should change to white with the dark writing. There we go. And there's the closed one up the top there. So that's fine. Exactly what I wanted. Let's just add a couple more. So let's clone this top one. Bring it down. I'm going to do this very quickly. Obviously you want to put some more thought and some information in there. That's fine. And let's clone that second one again. It's not what I wanted to do. Clone it. Drag that one down here. And let's call it JavaScript. Okay, that's all we need to do. That's the right image. Let's save that. Now I should have 4 bars there with the top one open. There we go. And obviously the bigger the screen, the more it's going to stretch across. So let's save that. Update and take a look. Preview our changes. Let's see what we've got. There we go. There's our little accordion section there with our info in it. That's pretty much exactly what I had in mind. I think what I might do is add just a little bit of separation between our team section here and our accordion. Let's go to our page editor and just copy the divider we had before. Here it is right here. Just copy that. Let's drag this down. There's our team section. Just put it below our team section there. Let's put it just above our accordion. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Save. Update. And preview our changes. Yep, that'll work fine. There's our little line, our little divider section just between the team and our accordion here. So good, I'm happy with that. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. That was our last section. Let's move on down and let's create a pricing section. So if we go to our edit page, scroll down and let's create a new section. A standard section. And we'll give it our background color, that blue color again. I've got it saved here in a little notepad so I can just paste it in there. I'm giving it a single row. Going on the outside the section, hitting the 3 little bars. I'm going to put in our background color. first tab, color, second, gradient, third, image, fourth, video background. Hit the little plus button there and paste in our little hex code. There's our blue color. Okay, let's add some pricing tables. Here we go. And before we add our first pricing table, let's just sort out what they're going to look like, because we can set that right here in the first section. So show bullet, we want that one on. Background color, I'm going to leave that as default. Most of these I'll probably leave as default. And let's have a look at the design tab. I want to center the list items so everything's in the center. I'll leave the feature table background color as default. You'll see what that is in a moment when we do our featured table. It just hops it up a little bit, makes it stand out. Got a little drop shadow on the featured one there, that's fine. Bullet color, let's use our little blue color. And again, featured table bullet color, we'll just leave that the same, and it will be the same there. Text orientation, again, default. I don't want any text shadow. Background for the title text, that'll be the little box at the top. Let's use a blue. Same blue as we've been using. Text size, that'll work. Title text color, we're going to leave most of these as is. Text shadow, we don't want any of that. Obviously you can change the letter spacing and line height if you want to. I'm going to leave it as default because it looks pretty good for my purposes. Body text size 14, may decide to change that at a later date. Featured table body text size, again I'll leave that as because I want them to all look pretty similar, except the featured one will stand out. That's fine. Don't want any text shadow on a subheader. Currency, that's fine. Don't want any text shadow on the currency. I'm just going to use the regular button there as well, so we don't want to default. If you want to style your own button, just check that and it'll give you the option to do so. But I'm going to leave that unchecked for the moment. We can always change it at a later date. Don't want any box shadow right now. Normal blend mode, animation style. We're going to leave that as is. Like I said, I'll probably put animations in at the end and go through from top to bottom and put the animation in that I want. So let's create our first actual table here. So we're just in the regular module. It's like the slider. Let's add a new pricing table. And let's call it starter. And web design. And whatever currency you want, I'll use the dollar right here. Per site. And when I bring this up, you'll see what these all actually do. Price, let's say $4.99. And button text, let's say start now. Now what do we want to put in the content box? Well, let's just put in a bit of trusted lorem ipsum dummy text. Get the link for this below the site here. And we don't want too much, so just put that in right there. I'm going to copy that back to our page, and paste that in there. Button URL, again, I'm probably just going to put a hashtag in for the moment. We're probably going to redirect this to our contact page when we're done, so when they click on the button it'll go to the contact us page. Obviously if you've got a sales page with somewhere or a URL, you can redirect them there. The background I'm just going to leave as is. I think we're done. Let's save that and have a look at what we've got so far. Okay, there we go. There's our header where it's got the blue background. We've got a border around so it stands out. Obviously it looks a little wide at the moment because we've only got the one. Price, dollars, per site. There's our little bit of dummy text. There's our bullet that we had blue color. And there's our little button. So let's just shut that. Go back to our content and add another one. And we're just going to copy this. Two little triangles there. Triangles, two little oblongs there. And we'll change this one to, let's say, Pro. And all I'm going to do is just change the price to, I don't know, $6.99. And let's make this the featured one. I don't think I want to change anything else here. That's all fine. So if we go to the Design tab, make this table featured. I'm not even going to look at it just yet because I'm going to do another one, then I'll show you what it's going to look like. We'll save that. And let's copy that one again. And let's edit it. Call this one Business. And just change the price. I guess $9.99. Let's make sure we turn the featured off on this one. Save that. One more time. What should we call this? Enterprise. $2.999. Okay, let's save that and let's just take a little look. There we go. There's our little price boxes. And if you look, this middle one here, the one that we said is featured, is jumped up a little bit. Makes it stand out. And it should have a bit of drop shadow. So let's save that and take a look on the page because that looks a little squashed up in that view there. Update. And preview our changes. Let's go down and take a look. There we go, that looks a bit better. So as you see, our featured one is pushed up about 30 to 40 pixels, makes it stand out a bit. Buttons are all working. So there we are, there's our little pricing table section. Okay, let's move on down. So let's go down past our pricing section. Let's create a Parallax section with an offer in there. And for those of you that don't know what a Parallax section is, it's a section that has an image or a background that moves at a different rate from the scrolling site itself. So it gives it a real sense of movement. So let's add a new section. And let's make it, say, 2/3 and 1/3. Let's give it a background image. So third tab is image. I'm just going to hit the plus. and add from our library. I'm going to use that image we've already got going on there. And I want to use the parallax effect. I'll put some content in and I'll show you what this is. I'm not going to use true parallax. I'll demonstrate this in a while. I'm going to use CSS parallax or parallax. That way the image will move a lot more. True parallax, they both move slightly, and it's pretty cool. But for this, I'm going to use true parallax, which the actual background image will stay still while you're scrolling down the site, and it's quite effective. So let's just save that. I'm going to put some content in, so let's use a call to action here. It's a call to action, there we go. And let's say get the online deal today. Button text, let's say launch. And again, we'll just put a bit of lorem ipsum dummy text in the content here. So let's go over to our trusty lorem ipsum and just grab a bit of text. That'll probably do it right there. Copy and back to our page, paste that in there. Put a hashtag in there. Again, we'll probably direct this to the contact page. And this, I really don't want a background color, so let's just pull this slider all the way down, which will make that totally transparent. Well, we can turn that off, not use one at all. There you go. Okay, so we've got a little something in there. I want the text to be light. Text is already light. Do I want it centered? I think I probably want it left. Don't want any text shadow. Might want to bring that title heading up a bit. 26 actually. I think that's what we've been using. And let's give it that blue color. Copy it from my notepad over here. There we go. Don't want any text shadow. I think everything else is absolutely right. Back alignment, I think I'm going to want that left. 100% width, that's fine. I think that's going to do it. Let's have a quick look. Wow. Okay, on that background, I'm going to want to use a color overlay to make our text stand out a bit more, because, gosh, makes my eyes go funny. Let's save that. Let's go back to our background on the main section here. Let's change that background image. Let's get rid of that one. Let's pull in another image. I've got some images saved in my images folder. Here's my assets folder. I'm going to pull in another image, I think, because that one's just crazy. I'll use that one. And let's set that as the background. There we go. Hopefully we should be able to read our text over that one. There we go, that's a lot better. Alternatively, I could have put the other one in Photoshop and just pulled the color over it. So that's kind of what we want. Save that and let's view it in our browser, and I'll show you, demonstrate that parallax effect. So let's update that. and preview the changes and take a look at our site. There's our prices. So here it is. And as you see, as I scroll, that background image is staying stationary. And our foreground is moving over it, which is very effective. It'll look better, of course, when we've got something below it, but you get the idea. Now that's true parallax. If we go back into the page and change that to, sorry, that was CSS parallax. If we change that to true parallax, which both images will move, it's a lot more subtle. So let's save that. Update. And preview our changes again. Go to the site. Off we go. Here we are. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I'm sure you can. When I scroll up and down, it's moving, but it's just moving at a different rate rather than being static. Just before, it was staying exactly where it was, the background image. Now it's moving slightly. And that's true parallax, which again is a very eye-catching feature. So there you have it, but that's not what I want in this particular section right here. So let's put it back to CSS parallax. Okay, and on this side, let's have a little countdown timer that says that perhaps the offer will expire. Okay, so let's just insert that. Countdown timer. There it is. And what should we say? Deal ends. Countdown. So we just need to put a date in here. Just click on there and it brings this up. We're in March 2018 right now. Let's just give it. Let's give it a month. So it's got that. It's going to count down to this date. Background, again, I don't want a background color. So look, our title text, I guess we'll leave that white for the moment. That's fine. Let's just have a look, see what we've got here. Okay, our title text, we've got that dark. I want it left aligned. And I want our counter, you see it counting down there, I want that to be white. So let's change that. So I want to change that to light. I want to change that to left. Don't want any text shadow. Title text. So let's make the title text white. 22, 26 we used in the last one. Let's make it the same size as that. Numbers text, that's fine, but we want it color wise, we want it to be white also. May want to make it a little larger. Let's have a look, see what that looks like. Yeah, that stands out a lot better, doesn't it? Okay, let's put a little something underneath. I don't know. Percentage off, 50% off, something like that. Okay, so we can do that just with a bit of text. So let's close that one or save and exit. Happy with that. Add another little module beneath that, just a text module. And let's say set 75% off. And I'll make my off caps. Let's make that say a heading 2. Let's make it bold. Let's make it italic. Let's make it blue. Same color as we've been using, custom color. Put the hex in there. Get rid of that hashtag because it's already got one. Click on the box above and there it is, changed it. Let's have a look at that. It's okay. I want it a little bit larger than that though. Let's go down to our design tab and we should have headings down here somewhere. Here we are, H2. And the text size, let's make it, I don't know, double that. Be 42. No, it won't be 52. Let's have a look. That's better. That stands out a bit more, doesn't it? Alright, so I'm happy with that. Let's save that. Update and see what we've got. Let's preview our changes. And off we go down to where we were. Pricing tables. There's our little parallax section. As you see, I've put it back to the CSS so it's static. The background stays where it is. There we have it. There's our little countdown timer working. Counting down to the date we put in. Nice big 75% off. Good. So I'm happy with that. Okay, let's move on down to the contact section. Back to our page. And we'll create a new section. Standard section. Let's make it 1/3 and 2/3. And here we'll just put a text module in with a bit of information. And where we're located, I guess I'll just put in a fictitious address, or let's use, I think it's the Empire State Building. I think that's the Empire State Building address there, but that's fine. I'll use it for our map in a minute, we'll soon find out. And let's give it a sweet name. And that would be in New York. And the zip, which is 10118, I think. Put a little comma after that. And we'll give it a phone number. What else can we give it? Opening hours, say Monday to Friday. (8:30 till 5:30). Let's put some AMs and PMs in there, I suppose. Make it a little clearer. That's probably all we need, and we'll make our heading a little bit larger there, and we'll use our blue color. Let's make that a heading 2, and let's make it our nice blue color we've been using. Put the hex color in there, click on the box above, and there we go. So that's that little section done. We can have a quick look. Yeah, I think that'll probably work. Might want to put a bit more space between the heading and the actual text itself. Let's give that just one more space there. Yeah, that should be okay. We might decide to make that larger later, but let's go ahead and put our contact form in. So in our next section here, obviously you can do this with the Visual Builder if you want to, because I've been using Divi for so long, I quite often just use this edit feature. I think it's great, but do it however works best for you. So we want a contact form. There's our contact form. And we'll keep it simple. Name, email, message, which is what we've got there. Title, I think I will just say reach out. Success message, let's thank you. When they submit a message and it gets sent, this is what they'll get. Submit button, I think I'll just put submit there. Now the email, you need to put in whatever email address you want it to go to, me@myemail.com. And that's where all messages from this will be sent for. Message pattern, I'm not going to worry about that. Do we want to display a captcha? Why not? That will save you a bit of spam every now and again. Now redirect URL, if you put that on, you can redirect it to any page you want, or the top of the page, however you want to do it. I'm not going to, it's fine, we'll just leave it there with the success message, so I'll turn that back off again. Background we're going to leave as is. Now design wise, let's have a look and see what we've got here at the moment. I know I'm going to want to make the title that blue color. Yeah, I'm going to want to make that blue color that we've got over there. I want to make this a little bit more interesting, so I might add a bit of box shadow to it. Buttons okay. I think I'd rather have it our nice blue color that we had before though. And perhaps just with the blue, the blue outline and blue legending when we roll over it. I'm not seeing a captcha there in our preview. Okay, that's why. Okay, let's go to the design. Text orientation, well, we can keep that left. It's fine. Don't want text shadow. Now, I think that's an H2, isn't it? The title. .26, that's fine, and we'll have that blue color of ours. That's good. Title text shadow, we don't want any text shadow there. Field background, I'm just going to leave that as that default. It's sort of this color we've got going on right here. Font weight's fine. Text shadows, don't want any there. Custom styles for button, let's customize our button. Text size, we can leave that is. Button text color, let's make that white. Button background color, we'll make that our blue color. There we go. Border, that's fine, we'll leave that is. Border color, we'll make that the same. And it's 2 pixels wide, that'll work. Border radius, that makes it either round or square. There, we'll leave it at 3. It gives it slightly rounded corners. I'm not going to show the button icon. I don't want a button on there. Now the hover text color, when we hover over it, I'll make that a blue color. So we're basically reversing a lot of this. Hover background color, we want to be white. Or transparent would work just as well. And the border, we want to have that blue still, so let's put that in there. Border color. That should work. Button, the box, we'll give it a bit of box shadow, just to make it stand out a little bit more. That's fine. We'll leave default values. But I also want to put some box shadow on our actually inputs. I think that's here. Let's have a look, see what we've got so far. There we go. We made that button blue now, and it's got the blue border and the blue writing when we hover over it. I'd like to put a bit of box shadow over these to make them stand out a bit more. I think that's what we've got here. Let's put that on and let's have another look. There we go. That's giving it a bit of box shadow. That makes it stand out a little bit more. So I'm fairly happy with that. That doesn't look quite the same size as that, which I know is 26. So let's go back in there. Just save that. And let's have a look at our H2, that was heading 2. It is 26, so it looks the same. Okay. Let's save this and see what it looks like when we preview it. We'll update. And preview our changes. Scroll on down. And here's the contact section we've just built. Yeah, those two don't look the same to me. But I might want to make them both a little bigger. So let's use the visual builder. Scroll on down while it's loading. Let's have a look what we've got here. So my title text is 26. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Say 32. Yeah, I like that better. So let's save that. Now let's make this one a little bit bigger. That's our H2 from memory. H2. And let's make that 32 pixels as well. There we go. That makes that stand out a bit better. So let's save that. Save our changes. And exit the visual builder. Get on down. Of course, we will put a menu up in a few videos time, so we can just hit it and scroll down to where we want to go. There we go. There is our contact section. So in the next video, let's add a Google map just below that. Okay, so let's create our Google map. Let's go back to our page editor. Roll on down to the bottom here. And I'm going to add a full width section. Again, if you choose to do this with your visual builder, that's fine too. And in our full width section, I want to add a map. There we are, full width map. Got an API key in there. Just go to Google and put in Google API key, and you just sign up and you can get yourself a free API key. You will need to use that. I will have to blank this out because you're not supposed to display these publicly, and you will need one of these before your Google map will work. So let's put in our map center address, and I'm going to use the same address as we use for our contact form here, which I think is the Empire State Building. That'll do for this, so let's put that in there and see if it can find it. Yeah, found it, no problem. As you can see, it's here, and it's a live map, so you can scroll in and out. And let's just add a pin to the map, and we'll call it our office. I really don't want to put anything in there. Apart from the actual address itself, and we're going to use the same address, so it'll drop a pin on that map. Make sure it can find it. There we are, and it's dropped that pin where we put that address there. You can have multiple pins. You can just put in different addresses and it'll put different pins over the map there for you. So let's save that and save and exit and see what we've actually got. Let's update the site. And scroll on down. There we go, and there's our live Google map that we've added there. I think just as a little touch here, I might add a bit of box shadow to this section above, just so it makes that map stand out a little more. Let's open our visual builder to do that. And scroll on down. Now let's hit the cog for this section. Let's go up to the design tab. And there's the box shadow. Use the same one that I've been using. There we go, that's just added that little bit of box shadow there. Drop that map back a little bit so it kind of looks like it's underneath. I think that makes it stand out a little more. Of course, it's going to be your site, so you have it exactly how you want it. Save our changes. And let's exit the visual builder. And that is how to create a full width map section after your contact section there. Okay, let's move on and customize the footer. And if you look down at the bottom here, by default, Divi and Elegant Themes always put in this footer, and there's no obvious way of removing it, but it's very simple to remove with a bit of CSS. So we can put our own custom one in. It's fine if you want to leave this and advertise their site, but you know, for a professional site, you really want to be advertising the site itself. So let's go to our dashboard and I'll show you what you need to put in to remove that bottom bar, or the footer I should say. Go down to Divi, to Theme Options, and we're just going to add a simple bit of CSS code in our custom CSS box here. I'll give it a title. It's a // back a couple, and let's just write in what it is: remove bottom bar. That's just a title, so that if we write a lot more CSS code, which I tend to write quite a lot, you can find things a lot easier with a title up there like that. So we've got to say at footer bottom, because that's what the actual bottom bar is. If I bring up that page and I right click and inspect, let's bring that up. It's right here. I just need it to say display :none. And as you see, it's disappeared. That's what we want to do. So if we go back to our custom CSS box here, open and close some curly brackets. Put a little space in between them to put our code, and write display :none, semicolon. There's our bit of code. So it's footer bottom, open close, display none. Let's save our changes. Now if we go back to our site, I'll get rid of the inspector there and refresh. It should still stay hidden. So there we are, that's the bottom of our site, our map. So now we can add our own footer. So let's go and edit the page. Let's go down to the bottom. Add another regular section, standard section. I'm going to make it 3 sections, because what I'm going to do is I'll have a copyright there and a logo there. So let's make it background. We'll give it a dark background. Something like that. That'll do fine. And actually, while we're in there, I want to take away any padding that we've got, because I don't want it too wide. So I'll say padding top and bottom 0. Save. Okay, here I'm going to have a simple copyright. So we'll put in a text box. And I want the copyright symbol, which is an Alt code. So if you hold the Alt key down on your keyboard and type in 0169, you get the copyright symbol. And there's plenty of symbols that have Alt codes. Just Google Alt codes and you can find out a lot more. And we'll say my site 2018 to present. And let's make that light text. That's fine. We'll save that. Not going to put anything in the middle there. You can put some social media shares or something if you want to. Well, I'm just going to put the logo on the right hand side here, so we'll just use a little image for that. There it is. And let's add our image. There's our logo image that I want with the light text right there. So we'll just set that as image. It's fine. Let's just have a look, see what we've got so far. There we go. There's our little footer that we've put in. Save and exit. And let's preview that on our site. And let's roll down to the bottom. Off we go. There's our little footer. I think I'll put a bit of padding at the top of this to bring it down in line with this. So let's just do that with our visual builder. Scroll on down while that's loading. Here we go, and there's our little element there. Don't know. Just hit the little cog. Let's go to design and spacing. Let's see if we need to say a little bit more than that, say 15. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Maybe a little bit too much. What about 12? Yep, bang on. So let's save that. Save our changes. And there's our little footer. Okay, it's time to have a bit of fun now. We're going to go up here and make our menu work. We want to make it scroll down to these various sections here. Okay, let's start working on this menu, and to do that, let's go to our page. And to make this work, we've got to give each section a little individual ID. So for instance, let's call this one, we're going to the Advanced tab. We're actually working on the sections themselves, not the elements in them. So we'll go to the element, Advanced ID. We've got to give it a CSS ID, so I'm going to call this one Home. And you will see why in a minute. And I want to give this one About. Advanced. CSS ID, not class. Save. I just want to view the page to make sure I'm giving these sections the right names. So this will be the Home section. This will be the About section. We'll skip that one. We'll call this one Services. There's that call to action, so that this one will be Services. We'll skip this one again. Then we'll have our team section. There's the circle counters. So this one will be called team. Obviously you can call yours whatever you want. This is just a demonstration. This is just to show you how we're going to link it to our menus and make our menus scroll to these specific sections. We'll skip that one. I think we'll have pricing or pricing. So I'll just call that price, I think. Pricing tables. Advanced. And we'll call this one price. Skip that one. And then last but not least, we want contact. There we are, that's right here. Save that. Okay, so we've given each of our sections that we want to scroll to a name now, a unique ID. Okay, let's save or update our page. Now let's go and make this work. We need to go down to Appearance and down to Menus. We want to create one, so we'll give it a name. I'll just call it Main Menu, or I'm just going to call it Main. And hit the Create Menu button. Okay, now we want to start adding custom links. We're not going to use regular pages, we're just going to use custom links. So let's create one. First one, I'm going to say hashtag home, because I want it to go to the top to the home section there, and I will call it home. This is where it goes, and this is the name that displays in the menu at the top. So I'll add that to menu. Next I'm going to do hashtag about, and what this hashtag is going to do is tell it that that's where we want it to go, to those unique IDs that we put in just now, those CSS IDs. Remember services, I think it was. I think team came next. Let's just take a look. I can't remember. There's the services, then it was team, then it was prices. So we've got services, the next one's team. I want to spell it right, because if you don't spell it right, it will not work. Oh, let's say our team. And prices, I think I just call that price in the unique CSS ID there. And then last but not least, I believe, was just our contact section. I don't think we had anything else in between, did we? No. There we go, and let's save that menu. Now we need to tell it that we want this menu to be up here, and we call it main, so we need to go to our theme customizer, Divi theme customizer. And down to the menu section here. Let's view locations. Primary menu, this is our primary menu. We haven't used the secondary. With Divi, it appears above this if you want to use a secondary menu. And let's select main. There's our menu. No, I've done that under secondary. As you can see, it appeared at the top there, like I was saying. So we're under primary is where I want to put my main. There we go. Now we've got home, about, services, our team, pricing, and contact us. So let's go ahead and publish that. See if these are actually going to work. Home will be the top, about. It goes down to the about section, services, team, pricing, and then down to the contact us. That's fine. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before in earlier ones, but if yours is not, if yours is just jumping down there, let's go back out of here. Rather than smooth scrolling like that, go down to Divi, go down to your options, and start scrolling down. And let's see where it is. Make sure that you have your smooth scrolling enabled there, because that's what makes it scroll smoothly to each section. It's kind of difficult to say. Smoothly scrolling, scroll smoothly. Try saying that 3 times. And I've got the back to the top button enabled, which is a little button that is at the side here. I'll show you in just a minute. That enables it to jump back at the top. For a desktop like this, that's no big deal. Here it is on the right hand side. For a desktop, it's no big deal, but if you're looking at this site on a phone, there's a lot of thumb movement to get up and down the site. So a little back to the top button really makes life easier. So let's refresh, and when I refresh, hopefully our new menu will appear up there. There it is. And let's just make sure it's going to work. Yeah, and it's got a little bit of drop shadow there, which makes it stand out fine. And it works back up, obviously. Okay, so we're almost done with this site. The only thing I really want to do is just add a bit of styling to the sections to make them look a little more interesting. And Divi's added some great things for that, for dividers, so we'll do that next. So let's add some interesting dividers. Let's enable our visual builder. Now that it's enabled, let's scroll down and we'll start with this section here. So if we just click on its cog, go to design, go down to dividers. Now Divi has just given us a whole bunch of dividers that we can use now with all different styles, and you can put them on the top and or the bottom. So let's find one. I'm going to use the top. And here's our little list we've got going here. And let's see, something curvy probably. Yeah, I think something like that. We'll have to adjust our little interior section here. That's no problem. So we'll put that one on the top, and let's put the same thing on the bottom. There we go. And what we'll do, we'll save that. And we'll grab our little section here and just make it a little bit larger. Just put it over so that box is hidden there. That'll do it. So we've added a nice little curve to the top and bottom of that section there. Makes it stand out a little bit more. Let's move on down. And I think we'll leave those as is. But let's make these prices stand out a little more. So again, I'm just going to hit that cog. I'm going to go to design. I'm going to go to dividers. And I think I'll put something, again, curvy on the top, but let's use a different one this time. Or maybe something like that. Oops. For some reason it didn't select it. Yeah, okay. Just save that, and again, let's just make this section a little bit deeper there. Not too much. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that should work. Let's save our changes. Let's exit our visual builder. Now when we scroll down, let's go through the sections. Well, actually, let's manually scroll down. Within a few minutes, we just added a bit of... This used to take forever for me to do CSS to make things do this sort of thing. It's a really cool feature that Divi has just added. I think we might want to shorten the gap between there and there. That seems a little big to me. And there we go. That's made our pricing section stand out a little bit more. Contact section's fine. Map's fine. Footer's okay. So let's go back up. Let's re-enable our visual builder and see if we can't just adjust the spacing here. There's too much white space there. Like I've said before, white space is a good thing, but I think we've got a little too much there. Okay, there it is right there. So let's take this padding. Now let's put them about there. Yep, I think that's going to work. So let's save that. And exit our visual builder. So let's have a quick scroll through. I think we are finished with our site now. Home section we're on at the moment. About section. Services section, and again that space there is fine. I think that works okay now. Team section. Pricing section. Contact us. I'll tell you what I've forgotten to do is add animations. Okay, let's go through and do that. Let's enable that visual builder again. Okay, and let's go through each section. I'm probably going to use the same animation on each section. I don't want to do it on the whole one. I want it to do it on the internal section here. It's going to be design and animation. And I think I will use the zoom. There we go. And again, I want it on this whole section here. Design, animation. We'll use a fade on that one. Don't want to overdo it. It's very easy to overdo things with these animations. This one, again, I'm going to use that zoom, I believe. That way, as you scroll down, these things will zoom in. This one, I'm going to have perhaps coming in from one side. Actually, let's cancel out of that and just do it on the image itself. So that's here. I want perhaps to come in from the left. Nope, from the right. There we go. And then this one we'll have coming in from the left. There we go, that's what I wanted. This section will have that slide in or fade in as well. Zoom, that's fine. This is all white. I'm going to do it on this whole section here. And again, I think I'll flip. Yeah, let's use that flip on that one. Back to the old favourite, the zoom there, that's fine. Pricing tables. Obviously, play with these, put it however you want. Sometimes, for professional reasons, it's good not to have any animation. But a lot of people do like it, and it, you know, it does tend to make things more eye-catching, which is what you want in a website, especially nowadays. Map section, we're going to leave the rest fine. So let's save that. Exit the visual builder and see what we got. as you get to each section, it should perform those. Okay, I may have gone too fast for that one. Yeah, the fade's not particularly much, but I think we've got plenty going on there. Do a refresh. There we have it. I think our site is finished. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this series of videos and found it useful. If you have, please subscribe to our channel. If you're interested in web development, please take one of our courses below. We've got some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers. There's also some great free courses down there. So once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.